Joni, why don't you describe, by the way, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Go ahead, could you describe this conglomeration, all these new faces, kind of describe what this team's developing into right now, what it's like?
Well, we'll see after we get started. I'm excited about the group we've put together. Obviously, it's too early to tell anything. We had a lot of our players who were here this summer, but some of them were modified. We had 5 players who weren't. And so today will be the first time we honestly get a good look at a full practice with the majority of our team. What I can tell you is that they are highly competitive. They've come in ready to work. They're in great shape. Their pace, their intentionality is all things that we're excited about. And so it's too early to predict anything, but I like what I hear. I like what I see. I like their chemistry they've created off the court. And for the 5 players who came this fall, like they immediately just jumped right in and fit in with our team and what our mission is for the year.
Is everybody healthy? I mean, you've had problems with
Yeah.
everybody healthy, ready to go?
Everybody is healthy once we start playing basketball. There's nothing right now going on that would prevent anybody from playing basketball on November the 5th.
Howdy, Coach.
Howdy.
So, not to give away any trade secrets, but talk about your success in recruiting international players, and as has your work with Team USA, did that help in building relationships with so many different foreign country people?
Well, I think it's a mix of the transfer portal and a mix of just going out and recruiting, being intentional about making a decision to recruit internationally. We had talked about it as a staff for years and just never really became intentional about doing it. And once we did decide to go that route, we just spent a ton of time in that process. And so we spent time overseas, and excluding obviously my time overseas with USA Basketball. And we're able to identify some really talented players. And so it's a mix of players who were in the portal and were already here, and 2 players that we went overseas and got. One of that being just when Darius came on staff, he had a relationship with some agents and some players and was able to solidify one of those players that's now on our roster.
As a coach with so many players coming from different places all over the transfer portal, like how is that the group bonding dynamic of it? Was that a priority throughout the offseason?
We're gonna go get those AirPods that are new, that are out, that you can just automatically like live translate everything.
Yeah.
No, listen, it is like Lamaya Hilton's from Canada, but she speaks fluent French.
Okay.
So Talia coming here, Talia speaks better English than what she gives herself credit for. But when she does have a bit of like, what did she say? Talia, like Lamaya immediately jumps in and just starts speaking fluent French. And until Talia got here, I didn't even know Lamaya spoke French. You know, so there's so many connections that way. Anita and P are really good. Anita and P are both teaching me a little bit of Dutch and a little bit of Italian. So we'll track my progression more so than they're fine. We're the ones who have to get caught up. They've done an excellent job. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're starting to hold to talk about it? You know, you got Lauren coming back, but having basically a brand new team.
Mm-hmm. Lauren's back, Janae's back, Vanessa is back. So 3 players who just really epitomize what it is to be an Aggie in terms of their work and how they show up and their effort. And obviously Lauren being the starter and Janae being a starter, but the minutes and the experience that Lauren has, I'm excited about the jump Janae has made from last year to this year in terms of just her mentality, and her body looks great. Vanessa's coming off of an injury, and we're getting her back into the fold. Now we've got 12 new players, and so there's a different energy, there's a different excitement. They're all ready to come in, compete, and to just play for the 12th man.
What about your thoughts on that? He asked about the moniker PTI, so could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. It is program, team, individual, in that order, always. And for us this year, it's urgency and impact in everything that we do. And so that's what we're constantly talking about. Like, the program's going to always come first. It's about the program, and then it's about the team, and then as individuals, staff and players, it's our job to uphold and to meet the standard of the program and the standard of the team, and just putting yourself last. And that's what we're going to do every single day, and we're going to do it with urgency, and we're going to be impactful in how we move in those spaces.
adding Fats and Pryor, just defensive standouts where they were previously. I'm sure that was something that you were looking for going and getting them. What, like, just the mindset, you've always been a defensive minded coach, just having players like that prioritize defense, how nice has that been?
It's exciting. And, you know, we didn't spend a ton of time doing things defensively this summer. One of the things I've always told our team is, listen, I'll make a deal with you. We won't do anything defensively over the summer. If once practice starts, you go all out. And so today will be our first day actually applying our defensive fundamentals and the things that we teach. But even just watching them in summer practice, they naturally just pick up the ball. They naturally have a great instinct defensively. And so that's been exciting to see. There's some things that you're going to give them free rein to go do because of their gift and their ability on that side of the floor.
And when you talk about the importance of the program, from the second they step on campus, are you just telling them what a special place Texas A&M is?
The history of our program, women's basketball, obviously, and then obviously just Texas A&M, the tradition, the culture, how special it is. When they get their team notebook, the first 10 pages are all just traditions and culture and what it means to be a part of this and how seriously we take it. And so, yes, it is always understanding that it's about something bigger than yourself.
Joni, on a pure personal note, how nice is it to have Darius on staff around you?
Yeah.
Regular.
It's
And
been
after
really
that,
good.
You know,
Uh-huh.
all the experience he brings to the program.
You know, it's something we've always talked about. When we were at Georgia, we could not do it. We came here. It was something that was on the table. Our kids were really young. He was in a great space in the WNBA as a general manager. And then just as our college game has shifted more to the pro model, our kids are older. We thought this would be the right time to do it. And it has been just really good to have his experience as a coach, to have his experience as a GM. You're talking salary cap, you're talking roster management. You know, that's something that you can just hand off to him and just not worry about and know that he has tons of experience managing all of it. So he's also been around our staff for a long time. Obviously, you know, Rob and Chelsea, Ashley, Meredith, we've all been together for a really long time. And so he also fits in immediately. And I would also just add Alex Varlin and Alexis Hyder have jumped in right away and fit in as well. You know, Alexis played at LSU. Alex worked at Tennessee for Kelly Harper and Holly Warwick. So two people who have SEC experience. And so I'm excited about the staff we put together.
Do you typically, Joni, maybe hit the reset button at the end of the season or in the summer? And if you do, did you even maybe doing more this year since you had such a wide, roster makeover, so to speak?
Yep, I think the reset button gets hit at different times of the year depending on what you have returning, right? Our reset button last year was as soon as the season ended. We hit the reset button and threw a lot of things out of the window. And then you're waiting to see what your roster is going to look like. And until your roster is fully developed, there's some things that you just don't know. And so there's some fluidity to that. And then obviously when they got on campus this summer, we start putting them in actions, putting them in some scenarios to kind of see, like, how is this team going to play? How is this team going to look? You think you have an idea of that, but until you get out on the basketball floor, you know, that really tells you. Now, obviously, we're going to defend the way we defend. We're going to play with great pace. We want to play fast. But there are some tweaks and some things you can throw in based on personnel, and that just kind of changes from year to year.
Talking about the international players, sometimes you hear a lot of stuff surrounding them that they play more aggressive basketball overseas, and you usually get players with a lot more grit. How is having players like that now on your roster going to help you through being in the SEC conference?
Well, I think there's just a resiliency they have. You know, imagine going to a different country where, again, they speak great English, but sometimes they feel like they're behind or there's a language barrier. They're away from their family. There's a level of maturity that comes with that. A lot of cases they play professionally a little bit earlier, or they're playing against older women a little bit earlier. So they just bring some maturity. They bring some experience and in some cases, a bit of a professional game.
Did you say 5 got here, like the last 5, which, later than the other ones, right? Well, what 5 was that, Joni?
Jordan Webster. She was finishing up at Kansas. Talia. She came. She had some. Just with her passport, her and Anita, our 2 freshman internationals, weren't able to get here until the fall. And then Gianna Gentry and Fa, two young ladies who joined our team at the beginning of the year.
Very good.
So when you So dinner at night, you and your husband able to turn off the, all right, we're coaches, now we're husband and wife. I've been
Yeah.
married 34 years, so I know how that, how that.
You know, it seeps in from time to time, but that's something that we are honestly just used to. Like if you take it all the way back to when we were dating, he was at South Carolina and I was at Georgia. We didn't talk basketball at all because we were competitors, right? So we started our relationship not talking basketball. And then just when I became a head coach, he knew that I didn't want to come home and just repeat the day right away. And so we developed a cadence of like when it was time to talk about it and when it wasn't. Last night we were talking basketball because we were watching the playoffs, right? We were watching the WNBA playoffs. So we're talking basketball. We're not talking this team necessarily. Does it ever seep in? Sure. But I think we've developed a pretty natural cadence for when it's time to talk basketball and when it's time to be with JC and Drew and our parents and just have family time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you talk more than one, do you speak more than one language, Joni?
No, I don't.
I'm
I
still
speak
trying to learn.
Southern and more Southern.
She may after this year.